Well, good evening. While the murder investigation of Charles Walker is still very active and just barely 1 day old, I want to first and foremost offer my personal condolences to the family during this most difficult time. Our detectives have worked tirelessly since yesterday, and we are now developing suspects thanks to several Crime Solvers tips. We appreciate the community's input and encourage others to come forward as well. Much has been said about yesterday's murder on social media sites. Those versions of yesterday's tragedy are incorrect. The motive of this case is robbery involving a pair of shoes that were being carried in a shopping bag. We anticipate this case will close quickly. With a senseless act of violence takes a young person's life, this police department and our community grieve. And when 5 high school students are killed within the 2012-2013 school year, we all demand both justice and an accounting of the circumstances that give rise to juvenile violence. I stand here today with Angela Alsobrooks, our state's attorney, and Michael Blow, the director of school security, to collectively proclaim our resolve to engage the necessary partners to stop violence against young people. An announcement of the upcoming partnerships and strategies will be forthcoming in days ahead. We plan to involve interfaith and other nonprofit groups in this necessary fight to reduce violence against young people. At the core of all of our development strategies will be the focus of conflict resolution. In the meantime, our agency and the state's attorney's office are making progress in the Markel Ross homicide investigation, and we will have a significant announcement next week. We've already made arrests in the murder of Elazar Reyes and Marcus Jones. Significant leads are being vigorously pursued in the Amber Stanley case as well. I anticipate all 5 of these cases to close with arrests. We will keep the community and media updated as this investigation progresses. Thank you.
Thank you. Good afternoon. I want to just first begin by thanking Chief Magaw and thanking this department for the work that they're doing. As he indicated, we expect that all of these cases will close. And what I want to say tonight to the community is that we are vigilant. We will ensure that justice is done in each of these cases. As the chief has indicated, we expect an arrest to be made. And after those arrests are made, you can expect that we will prosecute those cases to the full extent of the law. And we will bring these individuals to justice. But even after we have done that, after we arrest and prosecute, it is not enough. And I want the community to understand that I stand here today as the state's attorney, not just concerned, but I am really enraged that a young person in our community can't walk the streets with a shopping bag without being shot in the back. That's something that ought to be of concern to our entire community. And so we will do our work. The police have done their work. They will arrest the individuals. We will bring them to justice. And then we need our community to come together to ensure that we're not just reacting. Something greater has to be done. We need our parents to wrap their arms around their children, to teach them the proper values. Go to school, work hard, and then buy tennis shoes. We don't kill individuals for tennis shoes, but we will bring these individuals to justice. And as the chief has indicated, we will make announcements. We will work with our county executive and our government to make sure that we are able to wrap our arms around these young people with our faith community. But more has to be done to ensure that this kind of violence does not continue. It is unacceptable. We understand that. Again, we'll do everything we can on the public safety end of things. We want the public to know that we are working hard, and we will continue to do so, but we need their engagement. We need the engagement of every parent in our community, whether this is your child or not. We need the engagement of every parent and every citizen in this community to ensure that the violence stops. Thank you.
As I said, we're very early on into this investigation. We can take a few questions.
Clarify, because people out at the scene, including some people who said they were members of Walker's family, said that Walker was walking with a gift for his girlfriend and that they were Timberlands, and that people who were at the scene said that they found the Timberlands at the scene. So were there other shoes that were stolen from Mr. Walker?
No. We believe that Mr. Walker was approached based on him carrying that bag that identified he had what appeared to be a shoe bag, and he was approached in reference to that robbery of those shoes.
So Take it then that the robbers didn't like what they saw in the bag and then left?
Well, the shoes that he was carrying that day were still on the scene, so they were not taken. But we're confident it was a robbery attempt.
Well, then, would you say then that that's what it appears to be, that they didn't see what they wanted in the bag? Perhaps they thought that there was something in there that they wanted and it wasn't what they wanted, so they killed him over that?
No, well, we're still working through all of these facts, but we don't believe that anybody went through the bag. There was a confrontation, a robbery demand was made. Mr. Walker turned and was shot. The bag stayed on the scene. So we don't believe that the individuals that committed this crime went through that bag and said, those aren't the shoes I want. They never got that far.
Chief, you said individuals. Can you tell us, do you know how many suspects you have here? I want to confirm that the victim was in fact shot. And do you think possibly the victim and the suspects may have known each other in some way? Was there associations, crew memberships, anything like that at play?
Right. We have no indication about an association at all. The victim was shot one time, and we believe it was a robbery attempt. So.
Could you comment on maybe what you might call apathy or not, but there were several neighbors, especially neighbors in the house that lived right there, that told us off camera they heard the shots and they didn't do anything. Several neighbors in other homes told us the same thing, that they heard the shots. It wasn't until 15 minutes later where they actually looked out the window. Is that a concern from your point of view? Like, how long, was there a delay in terms of the gunshots and you guys getting the call and him getting emergency help?
We got the call right away from the community, but the more that the community is involved, the better they make us. The quicker that we can respond and address whatever issues is confronting us. We always ask the community for their assistance, and we're only as good as our relationships with the community. So always want to encourage the community to call us if they, even small things, call us. But I don't have any indication that someone didn't call and it caused a problem at all. We get the call immediately from the community.
One more question, please.
Overall crime is down in the county. We've had, of course, a number of parents, people at the school, people in the neighborhood who feel like their kids can't walk the streets without something happening to them. This being the 5th student this year who was being killed. Can you address that and address what the department is doing to deal with these juvenile murders?
Right. Well, right now, we've had 5 juvenile murders. 4 that I believe within the next week and a half, 4 will be closed with arrests. We are significantly down in homicides across the board. Robberies this year so far down 35%, but they don't mean anything when you have a young person killed in the community. They mean nothing. They're just numbers. Our focus is, again, like Ms. Alsobrooks said, is bringing the community together, bringing the interfaith organizations, agencies, nonprofits, school board, us, everybody together to try to deal with this issue. And that's what we're committed to do. Sure.
May I just address your question? And so again, Tracy, thank you for the question. I think the chief has answered it. The point is that the crime is down. I think that's important for our community to know. Crime is down, and we arrest these folks and prosecute them just as soon as we can get the leads, and the community's been great with us. But the point is that that's not the solution is not to continue to arrest and prosecute. Something more has to be done. When we talk about should the parents be fearful, I think the point is that we have to not react, but we really have to do something about the children who are perpetrating these crimes. It's not that there are some outrageous, that we are not in control, in other words, of the situation. The police do an excellent job. They're close to closing all 5 of these cases, but that is not enough. And I think that's the point the community has to understand, is that this is not some wild crime spree. This is a social issue. This is a social problem that really stems from what's happening with our young people. And if we don't address that problem, then we continue to react over and over again. We can arrest, we can prosecute, we can send to jail, and it still doesn't solve it unless we deal with our young people.
Folks, I'd like to wrap this up and just to point out once again that we've received several Crime Solvers tips in connection with this particular case. We would like to encourage the community to continue to come forward because we don't know which phone call could be the one that will solve this case ultimately. That number for Crime Solvers is 1-866-411-TIPS. We will continue to keep you posted on any updates in this case via all of our social media sites, and thank you so much for coming out on such short notice.